You are listening to Bedtime Dreamy Tales. Subscribe to our channel for new story. Story title, The Swineherd. Once upon a time, in a kingdom small but rich in heart, there lived a poor prince named Henrik. Despite his modest domain, Prince Henrik harbored grand dreams of love and marriage. His heart was set on marrying the emperor's daughter, Princess Lilia, whose beauty and grace were renowned far and wide. Although it was bold of him to propose to such a high-born lady, his name was famous, and many princesses would have been honored to accept his hand. But Princess Lilia was different, as we shall soon see. In the center of Prince Henrik's castle garden grew a magnificent rose tree, planted over his father's grave. This tree was no ordinary plant. It bloomed only once every 5 years, producing a single exquisite rose. Its fragrance was so enchanting that it could make anyone forget their sorrows. Prince Henrik also owned a nightingale that sang the sweetest songs, as if it had gathered all the melodies of the world in its little throat. These treasures, the rose and the nightingale, were to be his gifts to Princess Lilia. With great anticipation, the prince sent the rose and the nightingale to the emperor's palace, each encased in a large silver box. The emperor himself received the gifts and brought them to the grand hall where Princess Lilia was playing with her maids-in-waiting. As soon as she saw the beautiful silver cases, Princess Lilia clapped her hands in delight. "Oh, I do hope it's a little pussycat," she exclaimed. However, when she opened the first case and found the splendid rose, her reaction was less enthusiastic. "How pretty," murmured her maids-in-waiting. "It's more than pretty, it's superb," declared the emperor. But Princess Lilia frowned and poked the rose. "Oh, fie! It's not artificial, it's natural," she said, almost in tears. "Oh, fie!" echoed the maids-in-waiting. "It's only natural." "Before we complain," said the emperor, "let's see what's in the other case." When he opened it, out came the nightingale, singing so sweetly that everyone was momentarily spellbound. "Superb! Charmant!" exclaimed the maids-in-waiting, their French sounding more awkward with each word. The emperor, moved by the song, wept. "Ah, how it reminds me of our late empress's music box." Princess Lilia, however, was unimpressed. "It's real? Let it fly away then," she said, refusing to hear anything more about the prince or his gifts. Determined not to be easily discouraged, Prince Henrik disguised himself. He darkened his face, pulled his hat low over his eyes, and went to the palace seeking work. "Hello, Emperor," he said. "Can you give me some work here?" The emperor, always in need of labor, replied, "We need someone to tend the pigs. Would you do that?" And so, Prince Henrik became the imperial pig tender. He was given a small, shabby room near the pigsties and spent his days working diligently. By evening, he had crafted a remarkable kettle adorned with bells. When the kettle boiled, the bells played the tune "Oh, Dear Augustine," and anyone who put their finger in the steam could smell what was cooking in every pot in town. One day, as Princess Lilia and her maids were walking by, she heard the familiar tune and was intrigued. "Go and ask him the price of the instrument," she commanded. One maid, reluctant but obedient, approached the swineherd. "What will you take for the kettle?" she asked. "I'll take 10 kisses from the princess," he replied. The maid was horrified. "Ooh, for goodness sakes! That's my price," insisted the swineherd. When the maid reported back, Princess Lilia was scandalized. "How naughty! But isn't that tune delightful?" She pondered and finally said, "Ask if he'll take 10 kisses from my maids-in-waiting instead." "No," said the swineherd. 10 kisses from the princess or no deal." Reluctantly, Princess Lilia agreed. Surrounded by her maids to hide her, she gave the swineherd 10 kisses, and the kettle was hers. The maids were sworn to secrecy, and they spent hours boiling the kettle, delighting in knowing what everyone in town was cooking. The swineherd's next creation was a rattle that played every waltz and jig ever composed. When Princess Lilia heard it, she was enchanted. "Go and ask him the price of that instrument," she ordered, but added, "No more kissing." The maid returned with the message. "He wants 100 kisses from the princess." "He's mad!" exclaimed the princess. But she couldn't resist the allure of the rattle's music. "I'll give him 10 kisses, and he can collect the rest from my maids." "Oh, but we wouldn't like that," protested the maids. "Nonsense, if he can kiss me, he can kiss you too," said the princess. "Now go." Again, the maid conveyed the message. 100 kisses from the princess, insisted the swineherd. Grumbling, the princess agreed. Surrounded by her maids, she began to give the swineherd his kisses. But this time, the emperor, curious about the commotion, decided to investigate. Seeing the scene, he was outraged. "Such naughtiness," he cried, boxing the maid's ears with his slipper. "Begone, all of you!" He turned the princess and the swineherd out of his empire. Drenched in rain, the princess wept while the swineherd scolded her. "Poor little me," sobbed Princess Lilia. "If only I had married the famous prince, how unlucky I am." The swineherd slipped behind a tree, wiped off his disguise, and emerged in his princely attire. Princess Lilia gasped and curtsied. "I have only contempt for you," he said. "You scorned a prince's honest offer and valued a swineherd's trinkets more than a rose or a nightingale. You are rightly punished." Prince Henrik returned to his kingdom, closing the door on the now penitent Princess Lilia. She was left to wander, singing sadly, "Oh dear Augustine, all is lost, lost, lost." And so, Princess Lilia learned a valuable lesson about valuing true gifts and genuine love over superficial amusements. And Prince Henrik? He ruled his tiny kingdom with wisdom and kindness, never forgetting the lessons he learned from his encounter with the emperor's daughter. If you like this story, please give this video a like. For more stories, go to bedtimedreamytales.com. See you in the next story.